Every major nation on Earth has nuclear weapons. They have submarines, stealth jets, special forces. But what if they had something worse? What if they had Pokémon? Today we're simulating World War III and assigning each superpower the Pokémon army they'd realistically deploy. One nation wins. Let's find out which one. A few ground rules. Each nation gets Pokémon that match their geography, military doctrine, cultural identity, and strategic priorities. No legendary stacking. One legendary per nation max. We're judging by raw power, strategic versatility, defensive capability, and the wildcard factor. Let's meet the combatants. The United States enters this war the way it enters every war, with overwhelming technological superiority and one classified asset nobody is supposed to know about. Mewtwo was engineered, funded, contained, until it wasn't. The Pentagon doesn't confirm or deny its existence, but when the war starts, it's the first thing they deploy. Mewtwo, psyops and intelligence, genetically engineered weapon, peak American military science. Braviary, air superiority, fast, powerful, patriotic, leads the aerial division. Aegislash, special forces, adaptable between offense and defense, elite covert ops unit. Magnezone, electronic warfare, disables enemy comms before a shot is fired. Blastoise, naval operations, armored, amphibious, coastal defense. Unmatched in intelligence warfare and air superiority. Weakness, Mewtwo doesn't take orders. The United States' greatest weapon is also its greatest liability.
We need to consider the possibility that it stopped listening.
Russia's doctrine has always been the same. Absorb everything, grind the enemy down, and outlast them. Their Pokémon army reflects this perfectly. You don't beat Russia in a straight fight. They know this. Kyurem, the boundary Pokémon, ancient and frozen, sits at the heart of their nuclear equivalent. It doesn't attack first. It waits. Ursaring, ground infantry. Brutal, relentless, built for attrition warfare in brutal terrain. Glalie, Arctic defense units. Ice typing dominates Russia's home terrain. Garchomp, rapid strike capability. Fast, devastating ground assault. Underground fortification. Digs defensive lines no army can breach. Weevil, winter special operations. Fast, silent, lethal in cold environments. Dominant on home soil. Brutal in prolonged conflicts. Weakness, slow mobilization, limited aerial capability. If the war ends quickly, Russia loses. If it drags on, Russia wins. China's military philosophy is scale and speed. Their Pokémon army is the largest by volume, and Rayquaza gives them air and space dominance no other nation can match. Porygon Z is their hidden weapon, silent, invisible, already inside your systems before you know there's a war. Machamp, mass infantry, 4 arms, relentless output, overwhelming numbers. Dragonite, long-range strike force, fast enough to hit any target globally. Tyranitar, heavy armor division, unstoppable ground assault. Porygon Z, cyber warfare, digital infiltration, hacking enemy systems, AI warfare. Ninjas, swarm tactics. Speed force, overwhelm with numbers before the enemy reacts. Overwhelming numbers, global strike range, and unmatched cyber capability. Weakness. Rayquaza is notoriously difficult to control. China's greatest strategic risk is the Pokémon that's supposed to be their ace. Japan is the wild card nobody wants to underestimate. They have home advantage. Pokémon mythology is deepest here, and they have Arceus, the god Pokémon. The one that, if Japan chooses to deploy it, doesn't just win the battle. It ends the conversation entirely. The question is whether Japan ever decides to use it. Lucario, Elite warriors. Disciplined, precise, aura-guided, Japan's special forces equivalent. Genesect. Advanced robotics and drone warfare. Cybernetic Pokémon built for precision strikes. Alakazam. Intelligence and logistics. Teleportation-based supply chains. Instantaneous troop movement. Aegislash. Shared doctrine with USA. Japan's version operates in stealth naval role. Technologically superior, tactically elite. Arceus as a deterrent alone keeps every other nation cautious. Weakness, small active force size. Japan wins a short, decisive war. Japan struggles in a prolonged multi-front conflict. India enters this war with the largest standing army of any democracy in terrain that has defeated every invader in history. Cobalion, the Iron Will Pokémon, reflects India's military posture, principled, immovable, and willing to fight to the last. Nobody planned for India. That's the first mistake. Arcanine, Rapid Cavalry Divisions, legendary speed, legendary loyalty. Flygon, desert and terrain warfare, dominates the subcontinent's diverse geography. Alakazam, communications and strategy, one of the highest Pokémon IQs deployed tactically. Toxapex, biological deterrence, defensive capability that makes invasion catastrophically costly. Slaking, the sleeper, lowest effort, but when it finally moves, devastating. Underestimated by every other nation, strongest in defensive and guerrilla contexts. Wildcard potential, if India allies with Japan, the war shifts entirely. The war starts when China deploys Rayquaza over disputed airspace. The United States activates Mewtwo. Russia doesn't move, yet. Japan activates Arceus as a deterrent. India closes its borders and begins fortifying. Magnezone takes down China's Porygon Z communications network. Kyurem freezes Russia's Western Front solid. Lucario-led Japanese special forces begin covert strikes on Chinese supply lines. The U.S. assumes it's winning. This is a mistake. Mewtwo stops responding to commands. It isn't fighting for America anymore. It's fighting for itself. Every nation now has a second problem, the weapon nobody can control. Japan deploys Arceus, not as a weapon, as a reset. Arceus halts all combat, forces every nation to the table. The war ends not because someone won, but because Arceus decided it was over. Not by destroying anyone, by being the only nation with the leverage and the wisdom to end it. The strongest military doesn't always win. The nation that controls the most powerful Pokémon doesn't always win either. Japan wins World War III because it understood something no other nation did. Arceus isn't a weapon, it's an argument ender. And in a world of WMDs, the nation that can stop a war is more powerful than the nation that starts one. Which nation would you have bet on? Drop it in the comments. And next time, we're ranking every Pokémon region by military power. Subscribe so you don't miss it.